Okay. All right, so just based on where they put the algebraic expressions, you may end up with a question that you have to factor. Okay, and I believe that, at least initially looking at this, that's probably what's going to happen. Remember, we have the situation where the altitude, okay, which is drawn from the right angle to the opposite side, that altitude is the geometric mean. So x plus 11 goes there, and x plus 11 goes there. Okay? But it's the geometric mean between the parts of the hypotenuse. Okay? And remember, when I say parts of the hypotenuse, we're looking at the hypotenuse of that blue triangle. Okay? So parts of that hypotenuse would be that part there. So put that here. And then use green here. That part there. So put 44 here. Okay? So then it's just a matter of cross multiplying. So when I cross multiply, obviously the extremes gives me 44x, right? Is equal to, now when you multiply these, there's a couple things you could write it out as, let's come over here to the side and do it. You can write it out as x plus 11 times x plus 11. And you can FOIL. Okay, and I'm going to leave that to you. Those of you that want to use that, go ahead and do that. That's fine. But there is a rule that says if I have a plus b squared, a plus b squared, okay, you can square the first term, okay, then you multiply these two terms together, so it gives you ab, and then you double it. So it gives you two ab's. And then you square the last term. That's kind of a generic way of foiling something where, you know, obviously x plus 11 can be rewritten, or x plus 11 times x plus 11 can be written this way, right? X plus 11 squared. So if I were to FOIL that, I'm going to get x squared, okay? Now I'd have 11x plus 11x for O and I, right? Well, 11x plus 11x is 22x, right? Isn't that the same thing as these two things multiplied together and then doubled? Okay, so that's just kind of the quick way of doing it. So that's going to be 22x. Okay, and then last times last, or 11 squared, would be 121. Okay, so now I'm going to get everything equal to 0. So I get 0 is equal to x squared. Subtract 44x, so minus 22x plus 121. Okay, now this is just because of how this 44 was developed or provided, this actually factors pretty easily. Two numbers that multiply together give me 121, and add to negative 22, yeah, they both got to be negative 11. So that gives me x to be 11 and x to be 11. We only need to answer one time with 11. Okay, so that's it. That's something we can do.
Yeah.
And you can be able to check yourself with that. You plug in 11 into those spots. You're going to see that 11 over 22 is the same thing as 22 over 44. Okay, that's what happens when you plug 11 into that initial proportion. So that was question 6. Any other questions on there that you guys? All right. So if we look at this, I'm just going to kind of redraw the picture here that we're interested in, and really just get rid of the clutter of the clip art that they put in there. So we got a right angle there, right angle there. We know this is, I'm going to write F for front of the house. Okay. It says the support post is 12 feet tall. Okay. Now we do also need another measurement here, and we're seeing that this distance from the front of the house to the back of the house is 26 feet, right? Okay. So that is the entire hypotenuse. The entire hypotenuse, this distance, that distance is 26. Okay. Now, when we try to set up a proportion for this set of right triangles, okay, we're going to use 12. 12 is the geometric mean. Okay, but now we need to decide, 26 is not going to go in either of these spots because the theorem talks about how 12 is the geometric mean between that part and that part of the hypotenuse, right? Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. We don't know either of those parts, but we do know what they add up to, which is critical here. If I don't know either of the parts, what could I let one of them be? X. And what could I let the other one be?
Y.
Oh, I could, but then I would need more information in order to solve for that. 26 minus X. Okay, that's a lot better than just letting it be another arbitrary variable. Because if I let it be another arbitrary variable, I'm going to have X and Y in those spots, and then I get 144 equals XY. Now I need another relationship with X and Y to be able to solve for that variable Y. Okay, so it's better to write it as 26 minus X.
Wait, can you put a picture like that?
How can you y 26 minus X? Oh, I thought they were, okay. Oh, wait, okay. I thought it was
But,
that way.
okay, that's how I'm confused, because I thought 26 was the whole thing, where you have the F thing all the way to the,
It is.
why do you have that thing?
The little blue.
Across the little blue.
This is X. This is X. This is 26 minus X.
Okay.
And then the whole thing is 26. Because segment addition says I should be able to add that. So X plus this, plus this green one, which is 26 minus X, and that should equal the whole distance of 26, right? Does it? Yeah.
Okay.
Does that help? Okay. All right. So we're going to put, and this is where another place that people could get kind of hung up, because I let X be the blue one and this one be 26 minus X. There is absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. Does that make sense? Okay. But what is the issue here? When I solve for X, am I solving for what they're asking for? No. Okay. So just keep that in mind as you set your problem up. If you're a person, let this be 26 minus X. You got to do a little bit of work after you find your answer. All right. So when I cross multiply, I get 144. Okay. And then what? 26x minus x squared. I'm going to move all my stuff over to the left-hand side. So we get x squared minus 26x plus 144 is equal to 0. Now, two numbers I'll multiply together give me 144 and add up to give me 26. Emily?
Wait, I have another question. If you are subtracting that's not going to be negative 1.
Yeah, but when we do that, so if you make this 0 and then you went just reordering things, negative x squared plus 26x minus 144, right? When we factor, though, we always want that to be a positive. So then we would throw a negative through the whole thing, through multiplication, and then it's going to make it positive anyways. All right, so when we multiply these out, or try to find the factors of 144 that have to give me negative 26, they both got to be negative, right? Because the product is positive, okay, and the sum is negative. So, take 140. If you struggle with this, take 144 and just start dividing it. 144 divided by, 16. That's not it, right? Okay, add those. So 16 and 9 gives me what? It gives me 25 together, right? Okay. So let's go, 144 divided by maybe 14 is not going to work, but 144, maybe divided by 18 work. 18 and 8, that up to 26. Okay, so it's going to be negative 18 and negative 8. So then x is 18 and x is 8, right? Now here's the situation. Here's how you got to answer this. It says it wants the distance from the front of the house to the support, okay, which we let be x, right? And what did they say? They said that the distance from the front of the house to the back of the house, or sorry, front of the house to that post is shorter than from the post to the back of the house, right? So the blue distance is shorter, okay? Well, if the blue distance is shorter, doesn't it have to be, oh, can't pull them both over. Doesn't x have to be 8 in that case? Okay, because if it was 18, wouldn't this one here be 8? Does that make sense? And I want to make this part, this green distance shorter, which is supposed to be longer. Is that all right with everybody? Okay. So 8 is what we're looking for. Okay. If you were a person that, when set this problem up, because there's no instruction, and like I said, this would have been perfectly fine. If you would have done that, okay, you would have gone through all this, okay, but now x is not your shortest distance, right? 26 minus x is your shortest distance, so you would have to plug in these two values of x equals 18 and x equals 8 and see which one of those would give you that shortest distance. Okay? Is that all right with everybody? It's still going to be 8. Okay? Everybody all right with this? Okay. My main concern is that this is a true question. All right. Carpenters do that kind of work. Okay. They're very interested in these angles, these distance, and basically I say angles, but they're interested in the pitch of a roof and stuff like that. And there's certain code that pitches of roof have to meet. And when I say pitch of roof, I'm talking about like the slope of it. Okay. And a lot of times they deal with the angles and the distances to create that pitch of the roof. Okay. So they're very, very interested. This is a real life situation where this stuff can be used. All right. But my main concern is that you guys understand that when we're doing this stuff, when we're applying the geometry, that it's going to happen very often that you run into situations where you have to factor. Factoring becomes a very, very critical component of understanding the mathematics and how the mathematics explains real life situations. Okay. We